you to deal with you.
You're locked in with your boy DJ Astonish. I'm joined with the one and only No Jwettz. My girl, thank you so much for touching down with me.
No problem, no problem. It's great to be on here with you, DJ.
You know what? I've been messing with your stuff for time now, and you know, especially since I first heard Dangerous. And I'll tell you how I discovered the track. I discovered it through King Buck.
Okay.
Yeah, he's my
Shout
boy.
out King Buck.
Yeah,
that's my dog.
Yeah, he's my boy out there, and and I was just like, I need to, and I got into your stuff, and I was like, wow. And I don't want to be bad mouthing anyone off or anything like that, but I just felt like when I heard your music, I felt like I was listening to a Dej Loaf who had a strong vocal. Do you know what I'm saying? Because
a lot of people say that. Yeah.
Yeah, I can imagine, and not that I'm comparing you, because I don't think you are the same, but I just feel like you've got so much range, so much, soul coming out of there, and Dangerous is, man, you made yourself dangerous for this industry. So I'm telling you, I want to know first off, where did No Jwettz, start out? Where are you originally from, girl?
I'm from Miami, North Miami specifically. I'm from the NMB area, South Florida.
And when did music come into your life? When did it start? When did you discover that, you can, you're a talent in itself?
High school. I was in high school, and I was such an emotional person. Like, I was so emotional. I felt like I always wanted to talk to somebody, and there was no one to talk to. You get me? So I started to write in my diary. And then my diary turned into me making, creative words and transitions, and that turned me into doing like poetry. And then from the poetry, it turned into rap, because rap and poetry is the same thing, really. So it started from insecurities, if we can say, being able to open up and talk to somebody, just coping with being in the studio and letting out those toxins, you feel me, those feelings that I have inside.
Well, one of my joints that I love of you, and I'll take a little bit back, but is Make Amends. And I love that joint. And I love that joint, and it's just talent at its purest. It's at, and I look at the transformation to you now. I see this strong, this, and it's funny you talk about insecurities, and I like that you share that, because I look and I see this strong, I'm obviously Dangerous. It's saying, don't fuck with this girl, but it breaks it down, and it makes it all make sense of where your music comes from. So coming into the music game, you're obviously coming for this game hard now. There's no doubt about it, because, I've seen, we've been dragging this track out, Dangerous, obviously, right to this whole release. And I just love the whole build up you've done to it, the whole transformation. I'm looking at a star right now. Do you know what I mean? Like, you're walking that red carpet. But talk to me about the track Dangerous, because, this is I feel like this is a really, really, timeless record here, and it's got a lot of potential, and, it really needs to get out there and see the world. Tell me how much it meant for you, because I see how much work you've put into it.
Okay, so when I dropped Dangerous, well, let's start with when I created Dangerous. When I created Dangerous, I was in a very toxic relationship. I was depressed. I didn't know who I was. I didn't know who to be. I was just lost. But then, I ended up getting in the stew, like I told you. That's where I let go of all those feelings and those emotions that I'm battling with. And I allowed myself to cope through the music while being in a relationship with this person, this toxic relationship at that. But the relationship ended shortly, after a month or two, and a very devastating situation happened after the breakup, during the breakup, or however you want to put it. And it completely changed my mindset. I was so crushed. I was heartbroken. That's the most heartbroken I've ever been. No. So it just turned up a spark in me, a fire, you get me? And the song was already as pure and real as it can be, because it was made in a moment of pain, you get me? So when I was creating the visuals to bring it to life, to have people understand where I was coming from, I had to go ahead and do that in a music video, you know, to let people know that I was fighting for my heart, and I want my heart back. I want my happiness back. I want me back, you know? So that's how that fell in line with that song.
Well, you know what? I got to say, you know, you written that song for yourself, but, you know, there's no doubt you written that for a whole lot of other people. And not, you know, don't just, you know, I'm not even going to say it's a sexist record, because I think, you know, anyone who's been in real, you know, pure love, who's gave their heart out and had it torn out, can feel that song. Like, because I hear that song, like I've been having it on repeat all day, and you know,
Right.
I was on my radio show last night, and you know, I was just dropping it, and I just, you know, I just can't get enough of it. Do you know what I mean? It's like I'm listening to a whole new record every time. So would you say Dangerous is really like the part of you, the making of you, in the sense of you getting your strength back, you like really just like back on top? Are you still not there yet?
Actually, when I dropped Dangerous so it can be just to let people know I was coming back to the music, because I fell back a little bit.
Yeah.
But that is not, I would not say Dangerous is the making of me. I would say that my previous hit single, Lil Boo Thing, which is still a hit single, was the making of me, and the Dangerous kind of built it up.
Yeah.
You know, like it was just like, oh, she did it again, kind of. You
know,
like it happened again. Oh, she did it again. Okay, now we really have to lock in with her, because not only did she do it once, but she did it twice. And I'm planning to do it the third time, you know?
Yo, I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. So tell me, with you and your music now, you obviously you're taking this music game seriously. There's no doubt. You know, I've seen the transformation of your, you know, your career so far, and I just see the elevation happening, you know, right down to your image. Like, I mean, oh gosh, girl, you're looking fire. And you know,
Thank you.
Honestly, you know what, your hair, your makeup, you know, it's to a team, and your team's doing numbers.
My team is doing it. My team is making it happen. Shout out to my team.
Honestly, they're making you look, you know, stush for real. So what's happening in the life of No Jwettz now musically? What are you doing? Like, what are you working towards? Because I've seen you, you know, you've been killing it in the club scene out there, turning up shows.
Right. Well, I have a lot in the vault. A lot. So much. So much. Like, I have so much music, going from party music to hurt music to being in love, like all type of music. I have a lot of mixtapes and projects aligned. I have plans to drop a lot of music, you know, but I'm, you know, at the end of the day, it's a marketing and a rollout thing. So I'm allowing that to play its role, but it's a lot of music. I'm working. I'm not, you know, holding out on you guys. It's coming out.
You know, as an artist, then, like, what is like your, what do you want people to take from No Jwettz, your music?
You said what I want them to take from it?
Yeah. What do you want them to take from it?
Honestly, I want them to listen to my experience and be able to help themselves, you know, because like I understand that me talking about my feelings and me rapping about my feelings or singing however it goes, that somebody in the world is going through exactly what I'm going through or been through something close, you know? So I want that person to know that it's not just you in this by yourself, you get me? And that when I make music, it's not just to tell my stories, to tell other people's story as well, you get me? So I'm always making music so that it can touch somebody or they can get a message from it at the end of the day. Same thing with Dangerous. I dropped Dangerous, and yes, and may have seen like, oh, she's hurt, oh, she's this and that, da-da-da. But the music video, there was a message in that, you know? It was not just a regular song. It was a message in that for you to learn from, you know, not just something to listen to. So I want them to learn from my experiences. That's all I can say, because I can only speak on my experience and the experiences I know of others. So I want them to learn, you know, like you're not the only one. Don't feel like you're the only one, you know, like we all go through things. We all going through this and that, trials and tribulations. But at the end of the day, you can listen to this music to help you feel better, you know, to make you feel like you're not the only one in it, you know.
How important is music to you?
100%. I done left my house, been on the street for music.
Wow.
I've done it all for music. Like just the, like my dedication, how hard I've grinded for this, like every single day, rather it was shown on the internet or not, I was working towards my music career. You get me? And all that hard work is finally paying off. But I've been doing it for years, you know, years. It didn't just happen overnight. I've been doing it for years, you know, since 2016. I've been, you know, this is what I want to do. I'm set on being an artist. This is what I want to do. So if it doesn't work now, it's going to work later. It has to work.
How did the point of you coming together now getting to this point of having a team that's actually, you know, in your best interest, you know, because that's one thing that's difficult about this music game is, you know, you can want the game, but it's getting the right people around you. How did that transformation happen of getting the right people in your life?
Well, so I'm in a family of business entrepreneurship, you know, people. So my mom herself is a celebrity hairstylist, you know, Lily's Touch. And my sister herself, A Royal Outlet, is a stylist. So kind of just came together, you know, and I had my close manager, which is with me right now. He's like a homeboy, but he ended up becoming my manager. He's been around, he's opened me to the studio. He's the one that allowed me to, you know, be creative in that space. You get me? So just coming together and finally putting my pride aside and saying I can't do it by myself, you know, and that I need other people's help, you know, putting all that aside. So us three coming together, you know, putting our heads together, us four coming together to put our heads together to create a plan, a marketing strategy to make sure that this goes up the way that it needs to go. You get me?
You know, I have to say, you know, well, it's working because, you know, I speak to so many artists and, you know, particularly where you're at your career right now. And I see the marketing strategy that's been in place in how your music's being promoted, you know, to the build up to the hype and everything around it is like, you know, someone who signed $1 million recording contract. Do you know what I mean? It's
Right.
like, do you know what I mean? It's legitimate. It looks legitimate. It looks like, you know, this is an artist that, you know, it's got the identity, knows what direction they're going in. As an artist, would you say, because I feel like obviously there's no doubt so much more that we've not seen from you. What direction are you in? Would you say there's like, what would you say your direction is in music? Like, what would you be categorized as? Like, would you say you're out of a box? Because some people put themselves in boxes, don't they? Do you know what I mean? Like brackets. Would you say you're out of a box? Like you're unpredictable?
Very unpredictable because I get inspired a lot, you know, so I'm always recreating, you know, always trying to be different, trying to give a different flavor, trying to bring something different to the table, you know. So the goal is to be versatile. The goal is to be different, you know, and bring something different to the table every time. But for the most part, I'm real good at the love songs, you know, like the hurt songs, like anything that's a little bit too emotional or too deep. I'm really good at that because I do poetry. So I'm able to target those areas, you know, to speak to the soul in a way, you know. So I would say that, but I'm versatile. I'm versatile, honestly.
Well, there's no doubt. What's the response been like out there since you've been, you know, killing these shows?
Crazy, exciting, different, definitely different. A lot of eyes. I meet a lot of people, shake a lot of hands, you know, and it's different for me. So I'm getting used to it and I'm loving it. Honestly, I just finished tour. It was amazing, you know, to be able to hang around all my supporters, family, friends, you know, and to display my music video and let people into my world for a little bit. It was great. It was amazing. And the response that I've been getting from my own city has been beyond love.
You know, that's one, I know that's one big thing out there. You know, if you get your city backing you out in the States, then wow, it's, you know, the world's your oyster. So how natural does creativity come for you? Would you say it's just in you? There's no like plan of how, you know, to become, you know, some people have to try and become creative, don't they? Is there like a way of you coming be creative, or do you just get inspired to?
Honestly, it's in me. I get inspired by literally just anything and everything, you know? So like coming up with Dangerous, the music video, coming up with the whole concept of it. It was just listening to the song and just saying, give me my heart, don't need no love. It was just so aggressive. I was like, what can be so aggressive? Like, what can give me that aggressiveness that I'm asking for? Like, I want my heart, you know? Like, so if I want my heart, how am I going to demand that through art, being creative? So I'm gonna rob my ex for my heart.
Yeah.
That's how aggressive and serious I am. if you can't give it to me, then I will go to your own house. I will get my heart back, you know?
Well, you know what? Well,
but that's just the creativity of things, you know?
Well, you know what? You know, after I watched that video, I was thinking, you know, people need to think twice. People need to think twice
about who they hurt. Yes.
Seriously, because you know, it's yeah, it was, you know, I was waiting to, you know, it's like I was watching some motion picture. It was just like, wow. No Jwettz, you know, obviously you're making it. Tell me, where does your whole inspiration like musically come from then? Like what's your vibe like musically? What are you into?
Dej Loaf for sure. I love her.
I love her. That. And then there I am, bad mouthing her, saying that you got like a. But you know, I'm real, and I'm going to stand by what I said. Do you know what I mean? You know, when you listen to certain artists, right? And I'm going to break it down as this: when you listen to certain artists, sometimes it's very easy to criticize artists that what they could have done more with the track. And I love Dej Loaf. I fuck with Dej Loaf. I mean, I remember when Dej Loaf made it big out here and she was popping in the clubs. And I get that same vibe from you, you know, because out here, I'm not sure what, you know, I knew Dej Loaf was grinding out in the States, but out here, she didn't really make it until she did Try Me. And everybody was really, really like I remember being in the clubs and, you know, people throwing me, you know, $20 bills and they were just like, you know, spin it back, but they were going mad for it.
Right.
And that's the vibe that, you know, your music gives me, that same thing. But I always felt with Dej Loaf, because after Try Me, she kind of fizzled out of the UK. People, it's like kind of like a lot of people in the UK prefer her features than a original because they feel it has a bit more, how can I put it? Just it has a bit more extra sauce that's missing. A lot of people feel like her vocals are empty out here. And I fuck with Dej Loaf because I think she's a very talented musician. I think she's very talented. Yeah, I think she's very creative. But I always felt that, you know, and I think she's just her own artist. But when you listen to some of her music, I just used to be like, okay, I understand what certain people meant. They'd be like, oh, it could just have done with something more. But if I was going to say, Dej Loaf was to add more to her music, this is what she would sound like. So so
you'll say so?
That's what I'd say. So yeah, I'd say she sounds with the what's it. So it's really mad that, you know, I hear the influence because, you know, and you telling me that you fuck with Dej Loaf. So Dej Loaf's is your girl then?
Yes, I'm very inspired by Dej Loaf. Anybody after Dej Loaf, I would say like Kodak. You know, I'm inspired by Kodak as well. And Lil Baby. Other than that, that's kind of the only three people that I listen to, and I'll try to like, you know, mix my own sound and try to get inspired by their sound a little bit.
Well, you know, no doubt you got your own sound. So what's after Dangerous then? Are we going to be really focusing on Dangerous right now? Because that tune's still hot, and I feel like it's got a lot to still do. We've got something else in the bag.
I have more in the vault, but the goal is to pop Dangerous, you know,
absolutely
platinum, you know, like,
oh, I love it,
like, you know, like that's the goal, you know, but I don't want to keep my supporters and my fans hungry. So depending on how everything goes, of course, you know, I would release music and I'll be releasing little snippets of things. But for the most part, I do want to push Dangerous and my other hit single Lil Boo Thing until you know, the big pop grand finale. Absolutely. For No Shorts.
Yeah, and I think the crazy things, particularly now in the music game, you know, we have the whole social media world now, and I think what's so amazing about records that come out. I mean, let's take it back to Dej Loaf because, you know, there's a lot of inspiration there. But like, we take it back to Try Me, right? Like Try Me, Dej Loaf, I know was pushing that track before it took the fuck off. Do you know what I mean? And she was, you know, and then she was doing a load of other things, but like, you know, she really pushed that track on the underground, similar to what you're doing with Dangerous. So it's amazing how nowadays you can push a record and it might not do what you want it to do straight away. And you could start dropping something in the meantime. And then next minute, everybody just clicks like to a record that was dropped. What's your goal then? 5 years down the line, where does, you know, No Jwettz want to be?
On your TV. Yeah, on everybody's TV. You know, I want to be on everybody's screen. I want to be on the big screen. I want to be able to help my community. That's the main reason why I want eyes on me, is because I want to be able to do more for my city. You know, I'm more than just an artist. I'm a promoter. I'm an event curator. I do a lot more than just the music area, you know, artist developers. So that's kind of what I want to get back into, open a label, you know, help help people that didn't get the help that I didn't get to get when I was trying to get that help, you know, and when I finally got it, that's the kind of help I want to give to them. You know, so the goal is to just help others, help other artists in the future, help my community in the best way that I can. That's all.
So it's fair to say that you're not to be taking what's the word? What's the one? Do you know there's a word for it? But you know, not basically just not to be overlooked, not to be just taken, like you say, as an artist. And you know, there's more to you than just music.
I mean, everybody knows me for something different. You know, like you'll know me for my music, but in another person's eyes, they know me for putting events together and giving them the opportunity to be on a platform, you know. But at the end of the day, it all come together once a person follows my page. You know, they'll notice that I do a little bit of everything, you know. But at the end of the day, I wouldn't say I'm looking for a certain label for people to view me as. It doesn't matter, you know. It's all gonna come with meeting me. It's all gonna come with, you know, working with me as a person.
As an artist, then, you know, you've got your team with you right now. Future goal is to have a label. What would it do for you would you ever sign like to like a major or anything like that, or would you want to stay more independent?
The goal is to stay independent, but if the deal sounds right, you know, I'll definitely go for it. But I'm definitely not trying to set myself up to be a part of just anything. I've seen how deals go and labels and stuff like that. So I just would want to make the right decision before I go deep into wanting to sign with the label. You know, it would have to make 100% sense because me and my team, we can hold up most of it, you know, for the most part until, you know, things get off its feet.
Yeah. You know, with Dangerous out now, then, is Dangerous going to be a solo? Or is it going to be a part of a project?
It is definitely part of a project.
You know, that's interesting because, you know, obviously I've heard your other projects, and you know, I hear where you are with Dangerous, and you know that every time you've dropped something, it's clearly leveled up, and now that, you know, the level up now is unbelievable. So, you know, it's like, are you quite confident with the, you know, the follow up from Dangerous now?
Yes, very much confident. Definitely.
How selective are you, like, musically? Are you quite a perfectionist? Are you quite, you know, critique when it comes to like putting something out?
Definitely a perfectionist, and sometimes I hate it because, you know, I have so much music and I be wanting to put it out, and I'll be wanting to just let everybody hear it, but I wait so long to put it out because I'm procrastinating, I'm judging, and I'm like, I could have done this a little better, or I could have done this, or nah, this is not it, you know. And then years pass by, it's like, oh, okay, now I might not even be able to release it because I was in a different era, you get me? So I'm learning now to just know and be confident in what I do and just put it out, because if you don't put out any music, I'm not gonna be able to feed my fans and my supporters, you get me? And I wouldn't want to not give my supporters and keep them fed, because I do have a lot in the vault for them, you know what I'm saying?
So when does it come to the point where you say, I can walk away from a track? You know, you've recorded it, you've done what you need to do in the studio, you know, because I've been in the studio with some artists, and, you know, they're making like hot tracks, and everyone's in there like telling them, you know, oh, it's done, it's great, and they're like, nah, it needs a bit of this, and then they go back and sometimes they mess it up. Where does that line draw for you?
Honestly, like, I'm never gonna be okay with the track. I dropped Dangerous and wasn't like okay with the track, you know, but everybody loves it, you feel me? But I dropped Dangerous with that same energy, like, I could have done this different, but, you know, it's okay, you know, maybe, you know, but you're always going to be hard on yourself as an artist. Absolutely. Or as somebody that's doing the work, you know. So I just have to learn to just bypass it and just know, like, have that confidence, like I said, and just release the music. Because as you can see, I feel the way I feel about Dangerous, but Dangerous is doing great in your opinion. You know what I'm saying? We love Dangerous.
Well, you know, it's funny. When I first heard it, I said I heard it. I think it was being played in the background, or a video or something, and Book posted it, and it was like when you listen to the radio, you hear a track in the background, and you're like, oh, what's that? You have to get the Shazam at that. I fuck with this.
Right.
And that's literally what it was when I first Dangerous. It captured me straight away. And I was like, yo, I fuck with this. This is a vibe. And I remember DMing you and I told you to send it over to me. And, you know, that was like months ago. And here we are. We've got the video out and, it, you know.
Look where we at right now.
Look where we at. You know, look at the progress. So, you know, it's mad stuff happening. So Dangerous is hustling. So have you got much shows out there still happening where you're turning up with and performing at the minute?
Yes, I will be performing a lot, you know, trying to get Dangerous out there, of course, getting them playing the clubs, being in the clubs, you know. I'm going to be out there a lot, you know, just trying to push Dangerous as we just talked about earlier, you know. I'm just not going to just drop Dangerous. We have to keep promoting it regardless of when new music is being dropped. Dangerous will be promoted as if it is platinum.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, what's it like with the DJs out there in the club scene, man, in terms of supporting your stuff?
It's great. The DJs are supporting, you know. It's going to be hard sometimes because, you know, it's not easy to just get in connect with the DJs and just get in connection with these people. But as long as you fit yourself in there, you do it, you know, just make it a job. Every time you go into a club, this is my job tonight. I have to make sure this song is to this, you know, DJ playing right now, da-da-da. You know, so it's all about being dedicated and to getting the DJs and stuff to rock with you. But the DJs out here show a lot of love. As long as you want it, you have to want it, you know. So as long as you want it to be played, it will be played. Again, you have to put the work behind it. But other than that, everybody here is great. The DJs are great. The promoters are great. The intimate clubs are great.
Have you ventured out into many different states at the minute? Are you more still based in the hometown?
Mainly in my hometown for right now. Right. I do have some shows that'll be booked for the future, but as of right now, I have no shows outside of my home.
Right, I hear you. So just hustling. Well, you know what? You got to get your town behind you first, right?
Right.
And Rome wasn't built in a day. But hey, you're out here in the UK, so you know what? DJ Astonish has got you on the other side, so you know you're going places, girl. Well, no Jwettz.
Thank you.
It's been a pleasure, so honestly, getting to just touch down with you and just getting to kind of find out a bit about you, because you know what, your music speaks volumes, so it's great to just getting to know the girl.
Shout out to DJ Astonish for having me on the show. It was great. Shout out to UK. You know, I can't wait to rock out with you guys for a show. Shout out to you, DJ Astonish.
Should be dangerous. 10 toes down, don't never run. 10 toes down, fuck everyone. 10 toes down, I'm on my own. How you fuck with me, but snake me on my back though? Going through these cycles, man, I guess that's just how life goes. Used to love you hard, but now we speak a different language. Used